past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Gets it to Strong. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They run forward with Breida, and he is not going anywhere. They stop him for no gain. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Chiefs will have the football back in excellent field position. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Leopard!
Yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here's a carry now for Keith Marshall. And he's going to be met at about the 43. In on the stop, it was Travarius Moore.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
The first down line at the 34 here on third down.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Hot. Watch it now, Barney. Hot.
They'll set up to throw. Going to throw right side here, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A really nice gain of 25 yards. A first trip to the red zone for KC. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Watch it now, Barney.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
On 3rd down, that's Lindsey. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now Harrison Butker for the field goal try. This is a 26-yard attempt. And Butker able to put this one through. And the Chiefs are out to a 3-0 lead. So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held him to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach says,
in a double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 49. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
The Chiefs in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10.
3-19.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, give him 14. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39. Over.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. gun now on third down. Oh, he may have gotten lucky. Tried to dump it off underneath on the check down. Nearly picked. Instead, it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
And the kick by Butker is good. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the first. So scores on their first two possessions, but 6-0, so field goal is probably not what they were hoping for.
Man, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens.
Flex round! Flex round!
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Throw left side complete. That's Reese. Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the 49ers in control of the football, and they've got it here with a first down. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Ohio! Ohio!
They'll look to throw now on first down. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
Now it's Breida. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It was Jordan Evans making the play defensively.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
And he'll go down at the 28. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Flushed out right. His throw caught at about the 5. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. 23 yards on the play. '49ers with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They've got it 1st and goal at the 6. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
He'll set up a throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Reese. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. In for the score. And the Niners, if they can convert the extra point, they'll grab the lead. Robbie Gould on for the extra point. Extra point hugged the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And they take the lead here at 7-6. Gould now out to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. They've been settling quite a bit. They've been able to move the football some, but they've just been settling. That's one of the reasons they're down on the scoreboard.
I love that word you picked, settling, because nowadays in this NFL, you're thinking touchdown almost every drive because everything's so high-powered. Yeah, you'll take the field goal, but you always feel like you're leaving points out there when you don't put it in the end zone.
They'll be trying to put it in the end zone here on this drive. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Now Marshall. Oh, he's got some breathing room. The 40. He's at the 30. 10. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Keith Marshall, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs strike quickly here for 6 points. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make this a 6-point game. Butker now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right?
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
This is Marshall. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step.
319.
And here's Marshall. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Two minutes to play here in the first half. Back with more after this. So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
run with Marshall. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. And Butker able to put this one through. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback you got a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, 49ers. A big play there. 82 yards. And the 49ers are able to strike quickly for 6.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. Gold now out to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get this one up to the 26.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now they'll run it on the toss. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
It's complete. Javon Wims, the open man. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And now running right through it. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 11 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 3rd down. So we've come upon halftime here in Arrowhead with the Chiefs on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Ready for the start of the 3rd quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, not much there that time, and I think we were both wondering once he got out of the box whether he just throw the ball away and he winds up only picking up a yard or 2.
Play action. They'll throw. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a 1st down there.
Back down to that Philly. Here we go.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there at 22. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So jumping from his free safety spot.
That tells you how aggressive they are on defense, doesn't it? They get everyone involved. He was a little too fast on that play.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Now they'll run it on the toss. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 4 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead.
And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs add on to their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. Oh, leaves him behind on the spin. And they'll have excellent field position to begin this drive as he's all the way up to midfield at the 50.
It's the 3rd quarter, and they're down on the scoreboard. And while no one wants to hit the panic button just yet, points are a necessity on this drive. What a great way to get set up.
Good starting field position for the 49ers as they have it 1st and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller.
And That's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
Hey, you got three. Three down.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
No. Me.
Watch him now, Barney!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call their defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
Now back to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. He'll wind up being stopped for no gain, and it'll lead to a 4th down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. That is caught. It's Perriman. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Rashad Perriman, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like...
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Butker now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Now he's going to let it go deep left side, and that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. They give him a gain of 38. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, brings me right out of my seat.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll look to throw. That is caught at the 7. 23 yards on the play. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal. Now they'll run it on the toss. What a stand so far defensively, and now that's going to bring up a 4th and goal.
Now this feels like old school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it if you go for it on 4th down?
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. And now before this 4th and 2 play comes to fruition, they're going to think about it and call a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. He'll look to throw. That his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a short return will be stopped inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
Now they try the right side here. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Now let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
They stay on the ground. This is Marshall again. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Hurry up, here we go! Blue 90! Blue 90! Leopard! Leopard! Detroit! Detroit!
He'll look to throw. And Intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off near the 29. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. Two-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a two-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jordan Evans able to get in and run him down for a loss of 14. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it is incomplete. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Chiefs' defense comes up with a stop. So they really needed points here in a two-score game. Could not come away with anything there on fourth.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back at New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A great effort there with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Chiefs add on to their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. Butker now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain. So now they get
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tack McKinley in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Ohio! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Flex
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And now here is another interception. He's picked off at his own 47, and they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. And they'll go on the ground. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Past the 20. An outstanding pickup there for the Chiefs. 45 yards.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They come out here in the and he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. It's their quarterback. His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And thanks to the interception, the Chiefs offense cashes in with 6. Butker now to add the extra point. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll push the lead up to 29 now. Butker now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The 49ers offense making its way back out there. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. That one goes for 24 yards.
This game just keeps evolving and changing, doesn't it? You got a tight end who can move around a lot, not necessarily using a big body on him. Sometimes you take a corner, a better cover guy, and put him on him and try and take him out.
And the Chiefs are going to get him. Takk McKinley in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Now this is incomplete. Former Buckeye first-rounder Garyon Conley there to knock that away. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Now a handoff looking right. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
First seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Down right around the 25. Now the 49ers going to take another timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Over!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Flex round. Let's go. Grand 38.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Flex round.
They'll set up to throw. They shakes him off, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8.
Flex round.
Looking to throw, and it is incomplete. It was Jalen Mills getting a hand in there defensively. Well, you feel the excitement build on those 4th down plays. Defense has to stay out there, but for the offense, when that thing doesn't work out, such disappointment.
It can absolutely be a deflator, but how about the defensive guys? If they stop you on 4th down, they are absolutely elevated going to their bench.
They're elevated now. Big stop on 4th down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
try the right side here. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. That'll leave him with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play.
Leopard! Leopard! Now let's go! Green!
That one looks like he'll throw here. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I'll guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, getting the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. They can't do much at this point, partner. This one is going to go down in the loss column.
You don't make up for what has happened during the game in this sequence here. Maybe you hand it off and let someone run the ball if you so choose. But otherwise, just kneel down, call it a day, and try and prepare going forward.
He's going to let it fly. And got his man complete. And all the way down to the 35. A big play there for the Niners. 44 yards. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep down. And this is going to be caught. So it affects the final score, not the outcome, but it is a late touchdown here on the game's final play. Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot.